Hello and welcome to another Pokemon narrated battle. This battle is an OU match that I took about a few months ago. And so the team that I'm using is a team made by one of my favorite YouTubers, and most of you should already know him. He's called Emperor ZNB, otherwise known as Zed. And yeah, let's get on into team preview. So, I the one thing I really dislike about Showdown replays is that the team preview segment is actually a very small portion of the battle. So sometimes when I press play and then press pause, it just jumps straight into battle without showing team preview. So never mind, enough of rambling and let's get right on into team preview. So I am Row of Zenith and my opponent is called TanasinN, and just talking about my team, I have a standard fortress to set up hazards, offensive pivot Landorus T, offensive life orb Latias, which catches people off guard quite a number of times, especially defensive Rotom W, Banded Tyranitar, and Choice Scarf Staraptor. And on my opponent's team, he has Hydreigon. Not really too afraid of it, but it does have some really good coverage. But I will be able to revenge kill it with a little bit of residual damage with my Staraptor. For his Jirachi, not really a problem if I have my Rotom W, my Landorus T, and my Fortress. And okay, so looking at the threats on his team, they're mostly the defensive threats. The number one threat that I have to look out for is that Sableye, because my team generally really hates Will-O-Wisp burns, as quite a fair portion of my team is physically based, and even those that are specially based won't appreciate the residual damage. For his Espeon, it might be annoying because of Magic Bounce, so I will not be able to freely set up my hazards with Fortress. His Jellicent shouldn't be a problem, but the thing is, none of my team can really hit it for super effective damage, except my Rotom W and my Tita, which my Tita hates Scald Burns, and Rotom W won't really do much with Volt Switch since it's specially defensive, it doesn't have special attack investment, and Jellicent is really bulky in general. For his Conkeldurr, I should be able to handle it with my Latias and my Landorus T. So without further ado, let's get on with the battle. So I'm just going to lead with my Tyranitar to set up Sand. He goes into Jirachi. Obviously I do not want to be taking an Iron Hit, so I am going to switch into my Fortress as he does go for the Iron Hit. And now on this turn I really face palm as I clicked Spikes without noticing that he had Espeon on his team, and I was like, oh my god. So I just let him get his hazards up for like a spike on my field for free while I don't have any on his side. So now I am forced to switch out since my Fortress can't do anything, and so I see my Tyranitar as the best possible switch in to the Espeon, as he does show me that he has the substitute, most probably to ease prediction. So now he is going to go for the hidden power. I'm guessing that is fighting from the damage, as I will be able to go for the crunch to easily break his substitute. And now I do not want to be 2-hit KO'd by the hidden power fighting, so I am going to switch into my Latias, which, you know, all these after turn effects are taking place. So now here I make a very good prediction, predict him to bring in his Jirachi, and thus I go for the hidden power fire, and judging by the damage, it is definitely specially defensive. So now I do not want to be crippled by the paralysis, so I am going to be able, I will switch into my Fortress just to take the status. And now I know that the switch to Espeon is way too obvious, so I am gonna go for the Volt Switch. However, I unfortunately do get paralyzed on this turn, which means that I must switch out directly and I cannot preserve my offensive momentum. So I am gonna switch into my Latias as he goes for the substitute, the obvious substitute, and he is now going to set up a cow mine as I go for the side shock. And so since he's at 51%, I don't really think that he wants to stay in, and now I make a very good prediction, predict him to bring in his Hydreigon, expecting the next side shock. So I will go for the Draco Meteor next turn, take that Hydreigon out in one hit, and a major hard hitter on his team is taken down, which is really good. But now he is going to be able to go into his Jirachi, and I now think that he will not want to go for the Thunder Wave since my switch is obvious. So I will be able to go for Roost as he goes for the Iron Head, which actually really negates my recovery. But now I can go in my Landorus T since I am not affected by the Thunder Wave, and with the Intimidate I really take I really don't take much from this Iron Head. As you can see, I'm actually recovering about half the HP that I lose with my leftovers. But now he's actually staying in, trying to Iron Head flinch me, and I go for the U-turn predicting him to switch out, but no, he does not switch out. And now I'm praying, I'm like, please get the Volt Switch off so I can get my momentum, but no, I get paralyzed again, which means that this Fortress was just like so far a total dead weight to my team, since he has done nothing for me in this match, as he luckily will go for the taunt, and I can now get my Volt Switch off, and I can go into my Rotom W. The only thing that won't be extremely affected by the burn, and I am gonna go for the Volt Switch, doing a really good amount of damage as he does go for the Nightshade. And now I just want to use Fortress basically as a mid shield, so expecting him to either go for the taunt or the recover, I will bring in my Staraptor. And now I thought that he would go for the Will-O-Wisp if he had it, but he is going to go for the substitute, which now really confirms to me that he does not have the Will-O-Wisp, which is really good for me since my team hates burn. But now he is going to go for a recover, as I tried to go for the Earthquake because it is a 2-hit KO on his substitute, but unfortunately I do get paralyzed again. But now I'm going to go for the Earthquake, and as you can see, it does not break his substitute. So now, knowing that the next Nightshade is incoming, I will switch into my Staraptor just to be immune to the Nightshade, and I can go for the U-turn on the next turn, just to break his substitute, as he recovers up to full health, meaning that this Sableye is again a big nuisance to my team. And okay, so I bring in my Latias as it's my biggest hitter, especially, and now I make a really obvious play, since he knew that I was at low health and I wanted to roost up. So he will go for the taunt, making a very good play. But now, next turn, I make a really good play myself, predicting him to go for Jirachi, predicting me to go for the Draco Meteor. So I can then 2-hit KO the Jirachi with the Hidden Power Fire, as Sandstorm and Life Orb will take me out. So at least Jirachi is down, and now the score is standing at 5-4, pretty close. So I am going to send out my Rotom W as he sends out his Conkeldurr, and since Hydro Pump is the safe option, I am going to go for it, and I see that it is a 2-hit KO. So now I know that he is pretty much forced to go for the Mach Punch. So I am going to go into my Landorus T as it's my best switch into Conkeldurr, and basically his Conkeldurr can't really do much, as with all those Burn, Sandstorm, and my Earthquake, it will be able to take him out. So now he is going to send out his Jellicent, and I know that I cannot one-hit KO him with any move that I have, so I will go for the U-turn just to switch on out of there and go into a member of my team that can better take on Jellicent. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and it really does a disappointing amount, 33%, which is not even half, it's not even a 2-hit KO, which just shows how bulky Jellicent really is. So now, what my game plan here was, I just need some initial damage on Jellicent in order to kill it off. So I'm just gonna sack my my Staraptor right here, just go for the Brave Bird, do as much damage as I can, as he's gonna go for a Scout to take me out. But now what I can do is I can go into my Tyranitar and I can outspeed and pursue trap him. So he's now gonna send in his Espeon. I know that the hidden power fighting is incoming, so I'm gonna switch into my my Landorus, which is at relatively high health, so I will be able to take any attack he wants to go for, as he does make the good move, goes for the substitute, and he can now get off a hit with the Psychic. But since I break his substitute with the Earthquake, he's now forced to attack me, which is what I want. I do not want the Espeon hiding behind a substitute, so I am going to fodder off my Landorus, but now I can bring in my Rotom W. I know that I can take any hit he wants to go for because I'm specially defensive, and I will be in turn able to take him out with the Hydro Pump. So his last is his Sableye, which is not a problem anymore as it does not have the Will-O-Wisp. So he is going to try to fish for a Hydro Pump miss, but that's not going to happen as I will hit my first Hydro Pump. And now knowing that he's probably just going to want to fish for the miss, I'm going to Volt Switch out of there and prevent any more of this useless shenanigans. So now I can just make it game right here, as I can send in my Tyranitar and go for the crunch, take that Sableye out, and that will be the game. So hopefully you all enjoyed. It was quite a good match. Some predictions here and there, some mispredictions that I made, and overall it was a pretty fun match, although Parahex really screwed up my Fortress, but none of that matters since it still did turn out to be a really good match. My Latias put in quite a lot of work taking down quite a few of his Pokemon. So that is the match for today. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Like, comment, sub, and later guys.